Hey everyone, it is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2014. This is Talk to Me Tuesday, number 133. Quite a bit to show. I'm going to talk fast because I'm hoping my battery is going to last. If not, I will be recording this tomorrow instead. First up, let's talk Easter. Even though my kids are a little bit older, I still give them something every year for Easter, this year being no different, with the exception that I needed my daughter's assistance to be able to provide it. So thank you to her. But I wanted to make something that I could put their stuff in. I tossed around a couple ideas, two of which got tossed out, the third of which I went with, and that is this. What we did is we took a plastic bottle from the tea that my son buys all the time. My daughter cut it down to size, punched some holes around the top, and then I crocheted a piece to go around it and just did a chain stitch handle, and voila. Nice sturdy little basket, something that'll last for a while. And I made one for each of them, but I'm not going to show you each one because the only difference is the color of the basket. So there's that. Very cool, very simple. Didn't cost anything but a little bit of time. So there's that one. For my son's fiance's two little ones, who I was not going to give candy to, I made each one of them an ugly doll bunny. Anyone who's interested, Google ugly doll and you'll see exactly what they are, but this pattern is based on that. I did have to make changes because there were mistakes in the pattern, but there they are. This is actually a very dark blue, but I'm sure it's probably coming up looking black. So there are those. As soon as we see them, they will get those. So next up in the Yarny Bits, I showed last week a piece I was working on that was a 10-stitch zigzag. I just wanted to practice and see how it was going to work out. And here is where I decided to stop. I wanted to test a second color in it and see how that would work, and it works beautifully. So there's that. I just have to sew in the ends, and this will probably just sit on my table or be used for a hot pad or whatever, but really cool. It would make a really nice Afghan because it is a dense fabric. And in the same line of this, the principle of working it and putting it together, I mentioned that there was one that was circular and one that was square. I haven't gotten to the circular one, but I did try the square, and here it is. Very simple, in fact, even easier to do than this one, because the only thing you really have to pay attention to is when you come to the corners. And the corners are really very simple. They're based on a short row principle, so really cool. And I have decided that I'm going to continue to work on this, and what I'm going to do is just when I get to the end of the bit of yarn, I'm going to attach a new one and just keep working, and wherever it ends is where it ends, and I just keep going with a different color from there. So there's the front, there's the back. Very simple, very easy. Go check it out if you're even a beginning knitter. It's not that difficult to do. So a lot of fun. You'll be seeing progress on that over time, I'm sure. I do not have a pair of socks this week. I don't even have one sock to show this week. I did manage to get, I believe, 2 more pattern repeats done on my Great and Powerful Oz sock. I will hopefully get those done before the Sockathon is over in the TGIF group. So you may be seeing them next week. If not, well, that's because I've done other things. I am also working on a dishcloth, which is from a new Ravelry group I'm in, which is the Smells Like Yarn group. He has a dishcloth along he's going to do each month. I started working on it. I have not yet gotten it complete, so hopefully by next week you'll see that as well. So on to the sewy bits. First up, I have my paper piecing blocks. I did do 2 more of those. The first one is called Winter Bud, and that's this. And I decided, since it's called Winter Bud, to go with a white background to represent snow and the flower trying to blossom in the snow. Excuse me. So there's that one. The second one is called Log Cabin. And here's this. This was a little more difficult to do because the numbers kind of jumped around, and I was deciding on the fabric, and that's when I noticed they don't go in the order most log cabins do. So I had to be careful to make sure the different fabrics ended up where I wanted them to. So there's 2 more blocks completed. That makes, I believe, a total of 18. So we're getting down to the wire. Next up is something that I had a lot of fun with and I made several of. One of our newer TTMT members showed a drawstring pouch that she made, and she linked to the tutorial, and I went and checked it out, and of course I had to make one. So I went to my stash, and I'm going to say this, I have fabric in my stash that I will not for any reason use for paper piecing unless it's left over from a bigger project, because of the fact that it's got really pretty print or it's got really cute pictures or whatever on it. So I want to use it for a bigger project first. Well, you know, now I have a reason to jump into some of those wonderful fabrics. So I have actually 7 of these to show you, so I'm going to go through really quick in essence of time and battery life. The first one I did, I chose this really pretty paisley fabric that I got from Debbie Do To You. And for my accent color, I chose this really neat green tie-dye. And my lining color is just a cream color, which these 2 colors can be found in the fabric itself. Really cool, very easy. Let me tell you, you make one, you're going to want to make a bunch. So really neat, and I did do the boxed corners on this. So there's bag number 1. Bag number 2 is one of those fabrics I did not want to cut up because of the print, and it's this. It's got these really cute little kitties on it. And then it has a white fabric with like a paint splatter effect. And then I just chose a plain pink for the lining, and I did muslin for the drawstrings. So there's bag 2. Bag number 3 is also one of those stash fabrics I didn't want to cut up. It's this really cute kitty print fabric with this paw print fabric for the accent. And then I chose a nice bright orangish colored tie-dye for the lining. And this one I didn't box the corners, I just left them straight, and I, instead of doing 2 drawstrings, I did 1. And this actually has my Great and Powerful Oz socks in it. So that's bag 3. Bag 4 is this really, really cute turtle fabric that I had. And I didn't want to cut this up because I didn't want to cut up the turtles. I chose the same green as the first, and then I chose this nice aqua colored tie-dye fabric for the lining and the drawstrings. So there's bag number 4. Bag number 5 is for my daughter. She wanted one. She chose this really cute kitty print fabric out of her stash. And there again, we used the gray paw print fabric for the accent. And she chose this really neat paisley print for the lining and the drawstring. And there again, left them straight and 1 drawstring. So there's another one. Next up, I'm going to show you my favorite last. So then my son wanted me to make one, and he chose this black fabric with white design. His favorite color being purple. He chose that. And then his lining fabric he chose, he said it looks like eyeballs. So there's his. And these were all done according to the instructions, except for the ones I didn't box the corners on or do the 2 drawstrings. The last one is my favorite. This was a piece of fabric that was included in the Christmas fabric that Crystal had sent me. It was a nice sized piece of this fabric that has these cute snowmen all over it. So what I did is I just measured this fabric. I cut a piece of this snowball fabric to match the size, and the lining is just plain white fabric. And of course I didn't box the corners because I didn't want to lose the snowmen, but aren't they so cute? I love this bag. And there again, you can alter the pattern to suit your own needs. You can change the size and the width and the height, and so yeah, a whole lot of fun. So that was the fun that I had starting Saturday afternoon through to yesterday morning. So other than that, before my battery dies, I'm going to call it quits here. So I look forward to watching everyone's videos. I hope you all have a wonderfully crafty week and a wonderfully crafty weekend. If things don't show up quite well, I will be including pictures at the end of this video. If they show up good, then I won't. So other than that, for me, I'm out of here. For you, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever it is. I really do hope it's a great one, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye!